is the first month I won't be able to afford rent. Rent's increased from $1,300 to $1,800. The food prices are too high. I've cut back on eating because I literally cannot afford food. I don't have family. I don't have anything to fall back on.
Modern women are increasingly falling into high rates of poverty. They said that we don't need no man, so men walked away. And now women are panicking as men are choosing not to date, not to marry, or even have conversations with them. Watch it in this video to fully understand the implications of what's happening in society right now, how this is going to affect women going forward. Today's video comes from Courtney Ryan. Her channel will be linked in the description. And now let's just go ahead and jump right into the video.
Hi everyone, welcome back to my channel. If you're new here, I'm Courtney Ryan, and today we are reacting to a TikTok. I thought it could be helpful for you guys to hear a woman's perspective on this. So let's watch it together, reconvene, and I will tell you what I think. Okay, the text on the screen says SOS meeting guys when single. So let's watch.
We need to have a discussion on my single people because I need to know what you guys would have done in this circumstance. They always say like you'll meet the person that you want to start dating or the person that you're with doing things that you love, whether it's going to the coffee shop, the gym, just your everyday activities, whatever. So today I go into the coffee shop and the second I walk in, I see the most beautiful man, just like gorgeous features, brown hair, incredibly tall. I'm like, you are so my type to a T. Very business-esque energy to him too. And I'm like, yeah, that's definitely my type. He was sitting across the cafe. I'm like, I should make some eye contact with him, let him know there's a vibe here. But didn't end up like looking at for my computer or whatever. So I'm like, I'll just have no earbuds in so I look approachable because I've been told I don't look approachable. So I'm trying to do everything I can to make myself look approachable to this man. He ends up walking over and sitting right next to me. And how it's set up in this coffee shop is there's like one long booth and then a table in front of yourself and then a chair on the other side of you. So he's sitting right next to me in this booth. And I'm like, perfect opportunity. So I'm patiently waiting for him to like spark up a conversation, but like what would he have said? And I was too nervous to be bold and be like, hey, you're really hot. My name's Lauren. Here's my number. But like,
you see, guys, the average woman has absolutely no game. Men today have been told never walk up to a woman and just tell her that you find her attractive, because that's the gateway towards being rejected immediately. And it's true, a lot of women will tell men that. And yet women don't seem to realize that you cannot just walk up to the random man, tell him that you find him attractive, and think that he's going to want to be in a relationship with you. If a man did this to a woman today, he would get called out for it. He might be called a creep. It might be said that he's harassing her. If she were to take a woman, like flip the script, and a man did this, she would have, and you know, a guy said, you know, she didn't like it, blah blah blah. She would immediately say, yeah, you shouldn't just walk up to random girls and tell them that they're pretty. Like, you know, ask a question, make some conversation, like, you know, think about it very carefully. But when the roles are reversed, women don't have game. Women have no game. And the thing is that we live in a society where women are no longer approachable. Hence, men no longer want to even approach or talk to or be approached by the average woman.
I could have done that, but like that's a little too ballsy of me. And like I wanted him to just show a little confidence, maybe like pursue a little bit, because I think that's the most attractive thing in a guy. But I'm like, the fact that he got up and sat right next to me, he didn't even have to like charge his computer or anything because he didn't reach out to grab a charger, because I'm like, oh wait, why did he move across and sit next to me? So that made me a little curious. So anyways, bummer. To make a long story short, we didn't end up having any conversation, and he got up probably like, I don't know, 30 minutes later or something. But yeah, he totally distracted me from my work because I was like, I just want to kiss you on the lips. You are gorgeous, honey. But yeah, if you were sitting at Shortwave Coffee today next to me, you should have shot your shot because you were beautiful. But anyways, I want to know what you guys would have done in that circumstance.
It's kind of crazy how you have a lot of single female dating coaches giving advice to men. And when these women are giving advice to men, and not all of them are single, but when these women are giving advice to men, they're giving advice from their perspective. All right. So women are very different. Women can be fickle. Women can be very indifferent. So every woman, you kind of have to approach them differently. You cannot approach every woman as the same. These women, these dating coaches are giving you their perspective based on what they would do, not necessarily what the average woman would do. All right. And you have to basically be able to read and assess the situation. These women who are not even experts on women now think that they're also experts on men, because they seem to think that they understand what men go through and what men are experiencing. Hence, they are qualified to give men advice on relationships and dating. The woman in this video, the one in the TikTok, obviously had no game. She's She's completely removed from reality and does not seem to comprehend what men go through in society, or just doesn't care. And I guarantee you, she's on TikTok, so she's watching all of these videos of men being shamed online, being called creeps. But two and two doesn't go into her head because she's obviously pretty. That men are avoiding relationships. They're not approaching women anymore because they've been told countless times, do not approach. Don't mistake a smile for wanting something more. I have to say, I'm honestly even surprised that this girl didn't somehow come up with this whole thing like, well, maybe he was GAY, because that's what so many girls do. They immediately go to that whole thing like maybe he was GAY. That's why he wasn't interested in you, because you're beautiful. I'm so beautiful. So, that's the only reason. So they'll start tearing down the man immediately. Women are disconnected from society and the effects that M2 has had on society, the effect that social media has had on society, the way that men are treated in society. They don't even care about all the men who have deleted themselves as a result of false claims and all of these things, all right? Guys, it's insane. Jason David Frank. Many of us grew up watching Power Rangers. Jason David Frank, the Green Power Ranger. He's no longer with us. Guys, he had so much work left to do. Why is he gone now? His wife basically tried to divorce him, gave him divorce papers. She was going to take everything he had worked for. He control alt deleted himself in his hotel room. And then after it happened, his wife then writes this thing on Facebook like, "Honey, like a thing like to him after he passed. Jason, that we had agreed after that we were gonna call off the divorce. Okay, why would you put that there? Because everyone knew what she had done. She wrecked his life, and as a result of that, he deleted himself. Modern women have robbed the world of so many unbelievable men. So many unbelievable men. So many men who have given the world so much value. Robin Williams. Why did he control alt delete? Oh, it's quite simple. He lost most of his money in divorce court. And I forget if he was like paying something like lifetime alimony. He said that, they call it alimony because they take all your money. And then he gets diagnosed with Parkinson's. And after working his entire life, he's sitting there and he doesn't know what he's going to do. And he's saying that he may now have to go back out on the road and start doing stand-up comedy in his 60s with this condition that's only going to increasingly get worse, while having to dish out a large amount of cash to his ex. And basically he said that, they rip your heart out through your wallet. It's insane. And women could care less. During the whole M2 debacle, there were a bunch of men who deleted themselves. Okay? Louis C.K., his entire career destroyed over BS. So many guys. If you look at like R. Kelly, this dude was absolutely. There was some other stuff like, back in the early 2000s that he did that should have landed him in jail or in prison. But what actually put him there was overgrown women who were living lives of luxury and comfort. You've got to be kidding me.
Okay, so she's asking, I want to know what you guys would have done in that circumstance. So we're going to tell her. So first up here, I want to talk about the hints that women give men. As a woman, it's always pretty obvious to me when a woman is into a guy and when she wants him to approach, but that is because I am a woman and I know how women work. But as a guy, I can absolutely see how this can be confusing, and also there's just a lot of bad advice on the internet about this. Let's be totally transparent. Just because a girl looks at you for 2 seconds doesn't mean that she's interested. And there's sometimes a very fine line between, is she interested in me, or did she just accidentally look at me the same time that I looked at her?
I'll tell you something very, very interesting. I remember there's this beautiful girl at a coffee shop. It was a bookstore and had a coffee shop in it, Barnes and Noble. And she looks at me. Guys, I was hardcore handsome. I'm not lying to you. I looked like a model. I was pretty. And this girl, she looks at me and then she sticks out her neck, even looking at me. Like she's staring hard at me and she's looking at me hard. She wants me to obviously come over. She's desperate for me to come and speak to her. I basically this was like over 10 years ago. And I thought about it, but I'll never forget the experience. I thought about it and I said to myself, yeah, I'm not going to waste my time. I'm not going to put up with this crap. And as such, I just never approached her. And I'm telling you guys, as men, a lot of women just don't get it that it's not that we don't see your indicator. It's not that we don't see you looking. It's not that we don't understand. Because this woman, Courtney, and no disrespect to Courtney, is basically trying to say, ladies, you don't understand that men are just going. Sometimes they miss the hints because they believe that not every woman who looks at them is actually interested in them. Oh no, you see, we know what women are doing. We can read their many of us can read their subtle hints. For example, we're sitting across from them and they start laughing wildly. We're the only one there. Sometimes they're just trying to get our attention, or they look at us and they're trying to get our attention. And the worst thing that could happen is if we go over and shoot our shot and they say no. But in today's society, because sometimes, you'll go over to a girl, she wanted you to come over, you'll shoot your shot, and then she basically decides based on what you say to her, she doesn't actually like you. And then she goes on to Twitter and says that, well, now TikTok, guys, men need to learn that just because we may look at them or we're polite to them or smile at them, it doesn't mean that we want them to speak to us or that they're interested or that we're interested in them. Men have increasingly learned how women operate. They've learned just how corrupt the rabbit hole is. They've learned that it's best to just walk away and stay away. Don't even interact. Don't step up because they've been told, do not speak to a woman that you do not know. Do not approach a woman that you do not know. It's as simple as that. And women are seeing this. We're not the only ones seeing these videos online. They're just sitting there and acting like we don't understand. We don't know why men are doing these things. All of these women are feminist women. These are all feminist women. These are all empowered women. So of course they're watching all of those videos on TikTok where women are warning men to not speak to them and don't approach them and all of this shit. They watch this stuff more than we do. We come across this stuff every so often. They live and breathe this stuff. This is their shit. So they know exactly what's happening in society. They know exactly how women are treating men, but in their minds, they're so entitled that they feel they should automatically get the man that they want, and everything goes out the window. So you can basically treat men like crap, tell men don't approach you, but you have to remember, women don't operate based on facts, they operate based on feelings. So it doesn't matter what facts you present to them. The facts are completely irrelevant because their feelings replace the place of facts. It's an insane thing. Guys, I've never heard any other content creator break it down like this before. This is the reason why I say, like, if you're a simp and you're being an asshole to me, like, are you one of the people who disrespects me in the comments and start leaving shit? Like, get off the channel, don't watch the content, don't benefit from it. And some of you are like, I can watch it if I want to. You don't have any honor, and that's the reason, and that just shows who you are as a person. Because if you're going to be one of my tormentors, then go somewhere else. Go watch old O'Shea Duke Jackson. Go watch Abba and Preach. Go watch these Sims. Go watch what's that dude's name that his wife left him? I can't remember this up. Sometimes he has pink hair. Sometimes he has Destiny. All right, his wife was doing Only Fools, or she was on a similar platform to Only Fools, and then she was also on cam sites and streams and stuff like that, basically busting it wide open for a few dollars a month, and then in the end she ended up leaving him for just a couple of for some other dude, and he can't. And this is like, again, guys, if you're a simp, go hang out with the simps. There's a lot of simps in the manosphere. There's a lot of simp channels in the manosphere. Go hang out with them, because I'm one of the only people who've basically figured it out that women, they process feelings in the place of facts, which is the reason why the most ludicrous things will be said by them.
So, as a woman, I can confidently say, I think sometimes the way we expect men to read these hints and these minuscule cues, like, it's tough out there. So I think we can acknowledge that. In the video, she said she took her earbuds out to look more approachable, and not having earbuds in, unfortunately, I don't think is necessarily enough for a man to say, okay, let me go up to her. She doesn't have AirPods in. She clearly wants me to approach her.
Unfortunately, Courtney is not living in reality right now. See, again, it's about feelings, and I'm not saying anything disrespectful. I'm just pointing out she is not taking into consideration what the experiences of men are. I'm sure she gets emails from men explaining what they feel. I'm sure she watches videos in the manosphere from men who are saying, "Hey, I cannot approach a woman because I do not want this. I don't want to risk her, M2ing me, or basically not politely saying, "Oh, I'm just not interested," because that's not how women are today, or as saying that I'm a creep, or saying that I'm dangerous towards her. I'm a nice guy, and when I say nice guy, I don't mean like the creepy nice guys who just want something. No, I'm just a really chill guy. I love Jesus. I take care of my mom, and I work hard. I like to build anime figurines in my spare time, and that's really it. I don't want my life destroyed. And women, so of course, someone like Courtney would say, because this is what all the female coaches go. They go, guys, are you making this stuff up in your head? Are you creating the fear of being Me Too'd? Are you basically creating the fear that something will go wrong when you really know that the chances of that happening are next to none? Are you letting the fear hold you back? Stop it. Stop it right now. These women are not going to bail you out of prison when shit goes down. I'm telling you all that right now. These women are not going to be there for you when something. They're going to tell you that it was your fault. It was obviously something that you did and something that you said that led to this woman doing something like this. Or listen, I'm sorry that it happened, but not all women are like that. That's what she's going to say. That's what they're going to say. And then you know where things end up? They lead to old angry. They lead to old Uncle Angry, all right? All roads lead to Uncle Angry. All roads lead to Uncle Angry. I'm that bad kid at school that the teachers and the parents don't want you talking to, because I'm gonna tell you exactly where babies come from. All right, babies didn't come from a stork. Babies came from fucking. Okay, that's where babies came from. You say what? Wait a minute. No, no. It's a stork. No, listen to me. Your parents are lying to you. Your parents are fucking lying to you. Okay, I'm gonna tell you the truth. I'm that uncle. I'm that fucking uncle. Your mom's brother. Your mom's brother that the family doesn't want you coming around, going around. Okay, because they don't want you. They don't want me telling you the truth about life. Okay, I'm the uncle that's gonna give you your first sip of beer. I'm the uncle that's gonna take you out into the woods and tell you to stop acting like a fucking pussy, because it's gonna fuck you up in life. All right. I'm going to tell you about life. I'm going to tell you about people. I'm going to tell you about women. All right. I'm going to teach you the rules of the game. I'm going to tell you how to survive. I'm going to teach you how to conduct yourself like a man. All right. How to carry yourself like a man. And they don't want that. Women don't want that, because mothers don't teach their sons about women, even though men teach their daughters about men, because women don't want men to know that they did these things. For example, your mother is actively manipulating you. Your mother is actively manipulating you and taking advantage of you, just like she took advantage of your father. For her to go and tell you about female nature would mean that she would have to actually take some accountability for the things that she's done. But women will always use plausible deniability to excuse everything that they've done. Hence, and you have to remember that they're still going to go out there and use these tactics to get men after they dump your pops. All right? Because if you start to understand female nature, then you'll understand who your mother is. What women are really doing is women basically raise slaves. They raise you as a slave, and then you're basically transferred from mother to another woman. But they try to raise simps. That's how women operate, because they don't want men to know who they really are. They don't want men to understand this, or not only would you walk away from women in society, you'd also walk away from your mom. I'm telling you guys, women have been taking advantage of men forever, and most of them will never tell the truth. And then even when you have some women on social media who are like, I'm going to tell the truth, and then like they start building up a male base and audience, then they start talking other shit and they start, twisting it up.
But A for effort, nice try. I think that's a great starting point. But just taking out your earbuds, I don't know if that's enough to do it, especially if you didn't look up from your computer at him the entire time, like you didn't even look at him. So I would probably assume that you weren't interested. That's just from a woman's perspective. For the guys watching, I would love to hear down in the comments, what makes a woman look approachable versus not approachable?
What I find really, really interesting are the responses to this. Because like I said, she said, guys, let's get a men's perspective. Let's hear what you guys have to say in the comments. So if we actually go to the comments of her video, the one that we're listening to, watching right now, men aren't pursuing women anymore. Let's scroll down and see what guys are saying. Rum says when women complain about men not approaching them, what they mean is tall, rich, attractive men approaching. Tall, rich, attractive aren't men aren't approaching them. Anyone else is considered a creep or harassment. Exactly. And the thing is, women can retroactively withdraw consent. So just like how they gave you consent to approach them by giving you, IOIs, indicators of interest. That's what the PUAs call them, IOIs, indicators of interest. They can also retroactively withdraw IOIs and say that they never consented to you coming them over and they were not giving you an indicator of interest. They were just being polite, or you misinterpreted what you saw, and men need to learn their lesson. That's right there. That's plausible deniability. That's some shifting blame. It's crazy. Paranoid says, as a 45-year-old guy just getting out into the new world after a 20-year marriage, she definitely does not look very approachable. Assuming she's wearing the same things, she's got so much bling, the way her hair is done, and the crop top, all gives the vibes I'm into very superficial things like height, financial status, etc. Then she opened her mouth and confirmed it all. Guys, you have to remember, women think that we're stupid. Women think that the average man has the IQ of an ant. Every woman thinks that men are dumb. They all think that we're dumb. They think that we're dumb. They think that we're lazy. They think we're unintelligent. They think that we have no brains whatsoever. And basically, they're up there. They have the IQs of God, and we have the IQs of less than a rodent. And if we continue on, William says, why would we pursue women when pursuing is no longer fun or exciting, but rather full of fear? I'd rather not hear women call me a creep 1,000 times. Oh. Then we have another one, Sir Real. He says, dang, if women get an A for effort for just not wearing earbuds, the bar is buried 6 feet deep. Ab says, women chasing top 1% men. Hats off to the suave man for throwing her off handle. Sklar says, all a woman has to do is say hello. She couldn't even do that. She has no game. She's also forgetting that if she finds him instantly attractive. That means other women do too. So he's got options, which means he's not applying for a position. She is. All right. They're used to having everything handed to them. Everything. They're born millionaires. They get a credit card or a debit card at the age of 18, and they basically live their lives off it, flying in private jets, eating for free, being given everything for free, and they think that they deserve it. They're told that a man will just come to you. You don't go to men just come to you. This is not how it is in other countries. Okay? In other countries, women have to compete for men. Women will compete for men in other countries. Women in Western society have had everything handed to them, and they've created and the concept of artificial scarcity has been created as a result of the internet, for one, allowing women to get access to men very, very easily, high value men. Many of these women now go out there and they'll go and be physically intimate with these men. They can go and hook up with a millionaire, hook up with an NBA player, hook up with these high value men. And they're like, oh, he took me on a date and blah, blah, blah. But they don't understand. But these men are not marrying them. These are not marrying them. That was just a hitch. Guys, when a lot of men are now watching what's happening, a lot of even high value men are watching what's happening, and they're like, yeah, I'm not going to be a statistic. I could lose everything very easily. Many doctors right now, they're in a whole different generation. They're like, yeah, I watch these videos. I'm not going to end up broke. I'm not going to let some woman catch me. I'll go home. I'll play with my figurines and I'll chill. Okay? A lot of high value men, they're not going out there into the streets anymore. To be abused, to be shamed, to be degraded by women? Nope. They're not. Women, guys, women are all over social media screaming and hollering about men still, saying that men don't know how to, leave women alone. There's videos every day, new videos, and women act like they don't see these videos. Courtney acts like she doesn't see these videos. And she'll basically sit there and go, listen, you cannot listen to these videos and believe that all women are like this. If you're a decent man, if you know how to be respectful to women who are disrespectful, guys, if it's this difficult and dangerous to simply approach a woman, most men aren't going to do it anymore and risk everything. Men listened after M2. And guess what? You know what's really cool about all of this? We're beginning to see a lot of men still go, high value men, very wealthy men, go down. When you see what's happening to guys like the Tates, when you see what happened to guys like R. Kelly, yes, he did some terrible stuff that he should have been in prison for back in the early 2000s, but for giving women a life of luxury, that's what ultimately took him down? Come on, y'all. Come on, y'all. When you see Mr. Weinstein, basically Harvey was the best deal in town. He said, I'll make you a star, and he delivered. He didn't just lie. And many of these women, they spent decades in Hollywood living off just that opportunity. Being, these B-list, C-list, not even B-list, C-list people who basically were able to get these roles and these opportunities because of this individual, and they blew 20 years away, 30 years away, and then they turn around and says, you know what? I don't think that I don't think that evening that I spent with this individual was something that I agreed upon. And I need to be compensated, and he needs to be placed in prison. I am so serious. Like, that's how modern women operate today. And then they wonder why all of these men are no longer jumping into relationships, why these men are no longer taking them on dates, why these men are basically walking away and protecting their wealth and income. And of course, women, they have a very fragile ego because they're entirely ego. They'll then turn around and say that, you know what? Maybe he was GAY. Maybe he doesn't like girls. Maybe he doesn't know how to communicate. Maybe he doesn't know how to talk to women. We need to teach men and boys how to talk to women. In the UK right now, teachers, anyone, guys, basically any woman can report a man. Anyone can report a man now for extreme misogyny. Extreme misogyny. And no one actually, we cannot even get a definition of what the fuck that is. And you think that men are going to continue approaching and having conversations? Come on. They're watching Uncle Angry's content. You get rid of Uncle Angry, there's a million others that are putting this content out there. Men are about soft guy era right now. Men are about their business right now. Simping is becoming a thing. Simping is beginning to fracture. I'm seeing more and more simps saying that they repent for simping. Because what's happening now is I'm telling these simps to get the fuck out of here. Don't come around me. And they're seeing the writing on the wall. They're seeing that the herd is putting you out. The pack is putting you out. The wolf pack of men are basically like, yes, simp, we don't want to talk to you. Go ahead. Go hang out with the other simps. We're done with you. And if we spot you, like, for example, if you have a friend and he's like, okay, I'm going to go and get married and I'm going to be with this chick, and it's like, oh, this, it's clear that, it's a terrible individual. You're like, you know what? Yeah, you go ahead, man. You're a simp. We're not even going to grieve you. Don't ever come around us ever again. And this is not friends. I won't be there for you. And basically, dudes will block them, and that's it. All right? Block them, ghost them, because they're not going to have that in their lives. That's what's happening with men right now. And if a man, go be with your lovely individual. Go be with your lovely wife or girlfriend, bro. No problem whatsoever, man. No, bro, you have a good day. You have a good, we wish you well, bro. Wish you well, man. You're acting like this is a goodbye. Of course not. Of course not. Of course it's a goodbye. I don't ever want to fucking see you again, but I'm not going to tell you that, you dumb motherfucker. Guys, I just want to remind you to check out the Angry Guy Academy. Get insights on top cryptocurrency picks, exclusive podcasts, and manosphere topics. Free subscribers enjoy access to chat, videos, podcast, and all blog posts. Paid subscribers unlock everything, including exclusive guides, blueprints for building wealth, and up-to-date analysis on what's happening in the world of crypto. Support the channel by becoming a paid subscriber for just $8 per month and claim your free passive income blueprint when you do. Don't miss out. Click the link in the description to start now.
Going back to the video in this specific situation, I think the fact that he moved right next to her and she didn't look at him or smile or say anything to him probably made him think, okay, she's definitely not interested. She didn't even look my way when I came over here, so I don't want to bother her while she works. Like, that would be my assumption. I think it would be very different if while he was on his way over to sit next to her, she looked up from her computer and smiled at him, or, you know, glancing over and smiling once he sat down. Like, I think that would make the situation very different.
You see, guys, these women could absolutely care less about a man's perspective. This is not Courtney's first video. She knows what men are going through. She knows what feedback she's been receiving from men for quite some time. But she does not care. She will always use plausible deniability. You guys saw the comments. You saw that many of them said, hey, we're not approaching because we don't want to be called creeps. We're not approaching because we've told not to approach women anywhere. If she's reading, if she's doing something, that's her alone time. You know, if she's reading a book at the bookstore, never speak to a woman when she's reading. You know, if she's drinking her tea, do not approach her when she's drinking her tea. If she's doing her laundry, do not approach her when she's doing her laundry. If she's out and about and just walking down the street, do not approach her. So basically, you know, still, approach them, but don't approach them when they're doing anything. Even if, you know, guys, it's crazy. And who's giving this advice? All right, a lot of these empowered women. And then what do they expect men to do, guys? This is why I said that women process things using feelings, not facts. Courtney knows why men are not approaching women. She's obviously heard it a dozen times, a million times, why guys are choosing not to approach. All right, she's seen the videos on TikTok. She sees exactly how women treat men, and it's like meow 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 meow. Guys, it's insane. We're living in an insane society, and you can see how women operate. They live in their own realities. They refuse to accept reality. They refuse to accept how men are treated. Guys, women have pushed men out of society. Men are no longer asking women out anymore for a reason. Men are no longer approaching women for a reason. This is something that Courtney could not even imagine. Courtney cannot imagine that, yeah, the guy saw her, you know, saw this girl, and maybe he did notice he noticed the indicators, but he was not going to pursue regardless. It's not that men don't know. It's men are not going to take the risk, or a lot of men, they just want their peace. They don't want to waste money. They don't want to waste time. They don't want to waste any of this. There's so many girls who will give you their number and then they basically just lose interest in you, you know, the later on. I'm telling y'all, this is how women operate. I've had girls who just gave me their number, and then when it's time to hang out, they're like making excuses. It's like, dude, you gave me your number. You gave me your number, but you just don't want to get out of bed. You're the one who came on to me. You're the one who's trying to pursue a relationship with me. Get the hell out of here. The truth is, gentlemen, that most men today just want their peace. A lot of men also don't just wake up handsome or good looking. There's so many guys who've had to work hard on their bodies and everything else and their finances for 10 years sometimes. After M2, after the way that men are treated generally in society, a lot of these guys weren't always super handsome or very wealthy, all right, or even knew how to carry themselves this way. This was like a work in progress. And you think that they're going to go and throw it all away? More and more men are learning to develop to find happiness and peace alone. All right, a lot. That's like the big next wave in the manosphere. Men learning how to be alone, learning how to disconnect themselves from a lot of adult content that is draining their male energy and messing with their minds. It doesn't mean you never look at it. It just means that you don't allow it to control you. And learning how to be alone. So even if you're in a relationship with a woman, regardless if you're with her or not, you're happy by yourself. And that is a very powerful thing. So when so many men develop this notion, they develop this concept, and they're able to embrace being alone. Even, guys, as an extrovert, I need lots and lots of conversation. Many of you don't understand the reason why I'm able to make video after video and to have these long conversations with you is because I'm talking to you as my subscriber. And in many ways, this replaces the need for me to be out there and constantly interacting with others. If I were an island all by myself, I would be having conversations by myself, just like that. It's the truth. You learn how to be alone. You learn how to cope, and you learn how to thrive because you're just tired of the bullshit. And then you'll hear people trying to shame you. Oh, the reason why you're alone is because no one wants to be your friend. The reason why you're alone is because, you don't know how to get along with people. No, I don't want to invite the stress into my life. I don't want to invite the bullshit into my life. I'm sick of it. Well, you need to make better friends. You see, guys, this is coming from people who don't know how to be alone. I'm telling you right now, some of these people are introverts. That's why I said, just because someone is an introvert doesn't necessarily mean they want to be alone all of the time. That's bullshit. That's absolutely bullshit. I'm telling you that right now. Even introverts want friends. Just because you're an introvert also doesn't mean that you have poor communication skills. Being an extrovert can help with communication. Although, for example, I have terrible social anxiety. Well, I have generalized anxiety, so it's even more than social anxiety. But if I talk to people, I'm just like really good. The problem is that you just never know who you're dealing with, and people are just kind of creeps today. You know, modern women, they treat all men like creeps, even when it's just very innocent conversation. For example, if a guy approaches her and she likes him, oh, he's cool. But if she doesn't like him, then he's a creep. Okay? Or if he doesn't do something that she wants him to do, then he gives her the icks. Guys, women going around and shaming men also, men look at this and they're like, yeah, if you treat this dude like shit, how are you going to treat me? There was a dude in a wheelchair. Bro was in a wheelchair, and there was this girl, and he shot his shot. And they were like in like a place, like a pier. There were a bunch of people around, like a restaurant by a pier. She cursed this guy out hard because she was so furious. He wasn't like overweight or anything. Dude was in a wheelchair. But she was so furious that this man in a wheelchair had the nerves to ask her out that she went and did something like that. Guys, what do you think regarding all of this? What do you guys think? Women, women have brought things to the point that where men are no longer even approaching them or asking them out. And this is only going to lead to a society where you're going to have women guys, half of all women are going to be childless and single in just 5 years. Come 2030, we're almost in 2020, almost in 2025 now. 5 years. Half of all women are going to be childless and single. Think about how serious that is. And women did this to themselves. Women did this to themselves. No one did this to women. Women did this to themselves. And as such, women are going to find themselves in extraordinary states of poverty, destitution, and hardship. That's why you have so many women who are crying. They can't afford shit right now. And inflation is eating them alive. And they did this to themselves. What do you guys think? Let me know your thoughts and we'll talk about it in the comments. Like the video if you like it. Don't forget to subscribe. And if you like the video, share the video. And just remember that all roads lead to MWA and walking away. And cheers.